Hello and welcome to Model Kit Stuff. This is the last table talk of May, believe it or not. Where is the year going? Hello and welcome to Table Talk. My name is Jason. And if you've not come across a Table Talk video before, what we basically do is talk about what we've been doing during the week and what's coming up in the week ahead, and we chuck one or two other things in the mix as well. So if you are one of my new subscribers, thank you very much for joining the channel. We have lots of stuff that we're working on, lots of stuff in plan, and stuff coming up, mainly modelling stuff, but not everything that I do is modelling related, and we'll perhaps talk a little bit more about that later on. But right now, let's have a look at what we've been up to during the week. Well, we started the week looking at some etch from Eduard, and this was the 1:35 scale set aimed at the Airfix kit of the K2 Austin ambulance. And I thought they'd done a really good job of the etch, to be honest. It covered all the things that you felt like you wanted to improve, particularly the little openings on the sides of the back of the vehicle there, where you could let light and air into the ambulance. But some nice little upgrades in there. Yeah, I thought it was a nice little set. It's not overly expensive, and I've got to be honest, I knew someone would put something together for it, so that's why I've been holding back on that build a little bit. So I now have everything that I want to add into the K2 ambulance. So at some point we will build that. So as you know, when we complete the GOTA, I want to do something a little bit more simple, straight out of the box, just nice and easy, relatively quick build. So we're going to build the Mark 1 Beaufort. That was a new tool from Airfix last year, was it, I think? So that's the plan, and then we'll want to have a change from an aircraft by then. So the K2 ambulance could fit in nicely there. We'll have to see what I feel like come the time, but I quite fancy having a go at that. So yeah, that's possible, although I've got one or two other ideas as well. Anyway, the etch set was really nice, and a lot of you agreed. A nice little upgrade set. Then on Wednesday, it was the anniversary of the sinking of HMS Hood and the battering of the Prince of Wales. And don't underestimate how much damage they did to the Prince of Wales. They nearly sank her. My grandfather on HMS Anthony escorted her back to Iceland after the action. And he said to me that she was very low in the water. The deck was almost the waterline. That's how low she was in the water. So she'd taken a pummeling too. So don't be under any illusions. That was almost more of a disaster than it really was. So we put the first impressions out for the Hood, longest video I've ever put out, but it allowed you to naturally break where you wanted to and watch it in several parts. I couldn't make it work as a two-parter just because of the length of going through boxing instructions. There wasn't a natural point where you'd have ended up with an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and a quarter of one video, and then 25-30 minutes of another video. It just didn't quite work. But lots of people have looked at the first impressions of that. I mean, it's not a new kit. It's been out for a while. I like to think that I do my first impressions fairly in depth and give you as much knowledge as I have, and sometimes I know nothing about the subject when I'm doing the first impressions. I often buy a model because I like the look of it. I don't really know what it is used for, and I'm relying on the manufacturer to give me a bit, and then that might spur me on to go and read a little bit about it. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes just like the look at it, and just want to build it, and not that interested in the subject or its history. But most of us that build models are interested in history, and this week I've been really absorbed in a Netflix program that I came across called Last Kingdom, and I've gone from never heard of it to just about to start season 3 during the course of this week. And then yesterday we had part 7 of the GOTA build, and that was written, not quite, but nearly finishing the fuselage. So in part 8, when that comes out, you'll see the struts going in underneath, the fuselage halves going together. There's a little bit of clean up and filling to do. The some bits that the leather that goes around the pilot's area doesn't quite meet up, and I fill that with a bit of milliput. So there's that, and then building the engines, and actually that is what I worked on during the course of this week, was doing the engines, and it's taken me all week, but they are a thing of beauty when they are done. So there you go, that is one of 2 GOTA engines. You can see the other side there. Not quite as impressive without the copper pipe in its cradle, so that'll just get mounted on the wing there. So it took me all weekend and all of this week so far to get those built up. It has a little rod that attaches on and goes up to is connected to the fuselage, I guess to the pilot's controls, to control engine speed and stuff, I imagine. Don't know much about it, but I'm quite pleased with how the engines have come out. But like I say, it's been, well, I started them on the Friday night. I took the parts off and cleaned them up. Saturday morning we built them up, and Sunday we painted them all matte black, and then did some detail painting, so the aluminium of the underside, and then during the course of the week we've added the brass, the copper, varnish, decals, another clear coat, wash, or 2 different washes. So yeah, been quite a laboured process that's gone all the way through the week, and one of these I'm going to leave as fully exposed as I can. So I'm hoping that tonight I'm going to do the exhausts for them, and then that's the engines finished, and then the next thing is to paint up the wings that they get mounted on, and then you add the wing spars. So yeah, painting next, and that's the bit I'm most anxious about, because I'm not the best painter in the world. I really am not. I like building stuff, and painting is a consequence of that. So I'm being mindful of, it's pretty much all one colour on the wings, but I want to have it naturally have a little bit of modulation in the colour, and it perhaps a little bit darker where it dips between the ribs of the wing construction. So I'm going to be having to play with MIG shaders, and I've also got a Vallejo masking set which has which can give me some sort of patination underneath, which might just make the paint look uneven. So I've got a lot of playing around to do, but on Saturday we'll swap back to the Queen Mary 2, and then on Sunday I go away on holiday, and all modelling stops for a week. So that's where I am. I've got plenty of stuff to edit, so while I'm on holiday I'll be doing lots of editing. But yeah, that in terms of modelling, that's where I'm up to. So when I get back from my holiday, what I'll do is I'll have I'll carry on with the Queen Mary 2 for that week. So I've got enough material to build up another video, and then we'll hop back onto the Gota. But once we start painting it, that's largely it done. You know, it's two big wings, the fuselage, a tailplane, and two big floats. So the slowest part of that is painting the floats and the nose of the fuselage, and we'll do that at the same time because we're using the same colours, and it's a rich dark red brown colour that we're aiming for. And that's going to have to be done in tube oils. I haven't got what is needed doing my sort of acrylic and oil brusher process. I can probably build the base layer in that, and then I'm going to have to go over with some oil paints to get the colour that I'm looking for, which will slow the process down a little bit. And I'm sort of thinking I want to do the oil painting first, get it all sealed, and then put the acrylic paints down on the main body. So that means painting the nose and the float before we put the main body colours down, possibly. I need to have a look at it because really I need to be painting the wings first, and they're the same colour as the middle section of the fuselage. So I just need to get it clear in my head, and I've not really thought about it yet. But yeah, and there's a couple of options where it's not clear from the black and white photographs exactly what colour something is. So Wingnuts gives you a couple of options. So I need to decide what I want to do with that. And having had a look around, most people have gone with one of the options, not the other. So I might do the other just to be different. But I think, you know, painting, rigging, done. You know, there's not many decals to go on it either. So all in all, it shouldn't take too long now to complete the Gota. And when it's done, I'll show you here, and then you'll see it finish on the videos. Queen Mary 2 will take a little bit longer, and then we'll get to the Scharnhorst, which everyone knows I'm a little excited to get into. I've been having a look at what the options are for that, because I'm doing the 1943 March version, as we talked about last week. So that means specific radars, because they got as sunk, she had different radar setup because they were upgraded during the course of 1943. So I've been doing some research on that. Right, let's talk about next week. So as I've already said, I'm away next week and I won't be doing any modelling. I will be editing videos, and it all depends on how much editing time I get, what you end up seeing next week, and potentially the week after that. So my intention, well, this is already loaded up, so this is definitely happening. On Monday there is a Meet the Creator video going out. Relatively small channel, but he does amazing stuff. He's a Ukrainian Canadian and fabulous channel, so please watch that and then go and have a look at his channel and subscribe if you think you're interested in seeing what else he does. But yeah, very an interesting video actually. So catch that on the Monday. On the Wednesday, I am hoping to have a first impressions out of a Copper State Models kit, not the one that you saw in the comparison with Wingnut Wings. And actually, you can see it built on the channel that we do a Meet the Creator of on Monday. So you can watch my first impressions and then catch the Monday's video link, go to his channel and see how he built it. Is what you could do next week. So that's a nice little adventure for you. And then on Friday there will not be a build video because I like to do them as premieres, so there's live chat, people can join. I like to be there so people can ask questions. So there won't be a build video from my current builds. If I get time, I might put up the Airfix 1600 Ark Royal full build in one video, which I did a couple of years ago now, and took some photographs of it to put on a forum at the time. So before I had the channel, so it'd be more than 2 years ago. So I might put that up. If I don't put the Ark Royal up, I could possibly put up, just trying to remember what it's called, a Sea Fury. I've got a Sea Fury built up, which I could do. So it's probably going to be pictures and a bit of music, and I might write some text in. I won't be able to do a voiceover because I'm in hotels and things, but I might do that, or there might be nothing on the Friday. It's all down to how much time I get. But I usually wake up sort of 5:30, 6 o'clock, and everybody else is going to wake up 7, 7:30. So I have a couple of hours realistically where I can just sit in the hotel with my laptop and edit videos. So it's all about how much we can get done, really. So that's sort of the plan for next week. And then what happens the week after largely comes out of how much editing time I've got, because it will be busy when I come back. Catching up with work will be busy, and so on. Plus also, I am not far away from launching a second YouTube channel that won't be modelling related. So let's just very briefly talk about that, because it's not model kit stuff related, but some of you might be interested, I don't know. So I'm not quite sure when I'm going to be launching this channel. It's actually live now on YouTube, but there is no video content on there, so I guess you might be able to find it, but there's nothing to watch on there. And actually I've not finished editing and setting up the page and stuff, but my daughter, my eldest daughter, and I are on a journey, and I suspect my younger daughter will be on the same journey at some point over the next couple of years, I would imagine. So this has been a complete revelation to me, and my partner works in a special needs primary school. So she works with children that have got learning difficulties, ADHD, autism, and so on. And she has jokingly said for a couple of years that I'm on the spectrum. And to be honest, I don't really know what that means, or didn't. Now my daughter, she has always struggled with anxiety, and she's a carbon copy of me. And when she was 7, I had her diagnosed as dyslexic, and I was diagnosed as dyslexic just as a couple of weeks before my final exams at school when I was 15. And what the psychiatrist told me at the time was that I had learning difficulties that you could characterize as dyslexia. So from the age of 15 onwards, I've been telling people that, as I see fit, that I'm dyslexic. And what that has allowed me to do is to help most people. There's always some people that just don't get it, but most people to understand why I'm not very good at spelling. And in fact, when I left high school, I couldn't spell my middle name, which is Michael, but it's really, for me, really difficult to spell. So I've got dyslexia, and I suffer a bit from being anxious from time to time, certain situations, things like that. Other than that, I'd say I was a pretty average person. And my daughter is very much like me. She's got dyslexia. She suffers with anxiety as well, but she gets it a lot worse than me. She gets physically sick and what have you. So anyway, my partner suggested maybe we should investigate whether my daughter's got autism or not. And in the UK, there is a list. Sorry, I usually put that on mute. This is my lunch break. So in the UK, what you have to do is go to your GP, ask for a referral for a diagnosis of autism, and then they give you a list of 12 questions. And you have to answer them honestly, and if you score more than 8, you have a strong likelihood of being autistic, and that strengthens your case to be assessed to see if you've got autism. So for my daughter, who really struggles to fit in and is a bit socially awkward and all that sort of stuff, that can be life-changing for her, because she can find tools, ways of coping, get support from people that understand, and it's going to help her navigate through life. But as I said, my daughter is a carbon copy of me. And then in turn, I'm a carbon copy of my grandfather, and his brother particularly. And so the question was, if my daughter may well be autistic, and she's a carbon copy of me, and we have the same traits, am I autistic? So I took the little quiz, and I scored 12. I scored maximum points. And then I started reading around what does autism mean, what is it to be autistic, and trying to understand it. Blimey. So I have now been to my GP and referred myself for a diagnosis of autism. And after reading around it and understanding it, I'll be shocked if they say, no, you're not, to be quite honest. So the reason why I like detail on modelling, probably autism. The reason why I'm so well organised, probably autism. There's a huge list. So as a result, I've been trying to find out what there is out there on YouTube about autism, and there's quite a lot aimed at kids and at parents diagnosing kids, but there's not much talk about adults who discover that they may be autistic. And a lot of children, as they get a diagnosis, then leads to a parent being diagnosed. And it can run in a family, so you need to sort of explore that to understand it. Now, it's not going to make much difference to my life, I don't think, because I've spent my life adjusting to what I do and don't like, and what I find difficult and what I don't. When I was younger, that was a lot harder, because when you're really young, you're told where you've got to be and what you're going to do. And at my age, I decide what I'm going to be and where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. So you like everybody, you manage life to avoid the things that you don't like doing. So anyway, there isn't much out there for mature people like me in my 50s who suddenly discover that they're autistic. So I'm starting a channel, and it's going to follow my journey and possibly my daughter's journey if she wants to share that, as we both go together on this journey of discovery. Are we autistic? What does that mean? How's that going to change our lives? What are we going to learn about ourselves? So all sorts of stuff. I didn't realize that people generally don't hear what I hear. So there's loads of stuff that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to call the channel Suddenly I'm Autistic, because that's what's happened. I've spent 52 years getting to know me, and at 52 I'm discovering I'm currently undiagnosed autistic. Interesting. So I'm going to do a first introductory video to that and see what happens. So if any of you are autistic or know autistic people, are just interested in how me and my daughter are going to navigate through that, then by all means, once I've put a video up, I'll put a link up in one of these, and you can go and check that out. But yeah, interesting, very interesting. Now, usually at this point, I'd be showing you the garden. I can assure you it's a beautiful sunny day. It's going to be sunny all next week, so I've hit lucky on the weather for London and Warwick. But but I'm not going to show you the garden because I've got my washing out, and quite frankly, you don't need to see my smalls. So I think we're going to wind that up here. So last thing to say is this is the last one of May. So a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed during May. I really appreciate it. If you hit like or make a comment on any of my videos, that supports my channel. It means the algorithm sees that, picks that up, more adverts get run, and that's how the channel generates the funds to do what we do. So supporting the channel by liking, making comments, replying to other people's comments and that sort of thing is what keeps the channel alive. So thank you very much. If you're a long-standing subscriber, and I have quite a few of you now, a massive thank you. We're nearly at 6,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing. You know, I've said it before, never expected anything like that. It's just little old me working through my stash. But I absolutely love doing this, and I love the interaction with you guys, and I try and get you involved in the channel with sharing what you do. At the end of the year, we're going to do another subscriber showcase. But if you've got any ideas on how you guys could get more involved with what I'm doing on the channel, you know, picking kits and that sort of stuff, then fine. Really interested in any ideas you might have, because I enjoy interacting with you. Yeah, so gonna be a busy week for me next week. Probably gonna need a holiday when I'm done, but I'm gonna try and get loads of editing done, and I hope to see you all very soon. So thanks for looking in. Take care. You enjoy your modeling, and enjoy the sunshine if you're in the UK, because we don't get as much of it as we should. Bye for now.